Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you just some small changes I've made to some of my favourite figures in my collection. These are both MMC Mastermind Creations reformatted releases. We've got Kultur and Tyrantron or Tyrantron, and these are great figures. Didn't really need anything extra in them, but you know, there's still some things that I felt could be improved just a tiny bit. Start with Kultur here. This was really easy. Of course, you gotta get the Decepticon symbol on there. So it started with the face. Now, this isn't Mastermind Creations' fault. I didn't necessarily know who it was originally. It was, you know, who was meant to be behind the mask. So I basically just painted it up, added the pink to bring it more in line to his unmasked face, as well as the actual face itself, giving him the scars and everything that he has. I will try not to name him for spoiler's sake. And for the hands, I literally went over with a file and made all the fingers pointy, because that is something that stands out for Tarn, is all of his fingers are very pointy. So very carefully went over and filed them and smoothed them off and made them sharp. Now for Megatron, he was a little bit different. So of course, got the Autobot sticker, and for the chest I just went over with some Tamiya black ink panel line. Same for the red bits at the top. And for anything else, I just wanted to make the arm seem a little bit more proportional. So you might not notice it right now. Take off this arm cannon, but out of the box the arms are like this, and as you can see, proportionally the arms aren't quite right. I'll show you the Flames Toys model kit here. You can see what the arms are meant to look like. And I sort of distracted a lot from this figure. Like, it's such a good figure. It didn't need to transform, but it can transform. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do to fix this? So I took the arms apart and saw how they were constructed, and I found I could just cut one piece on the inside that connected the screw through, and that was the rail that this was attached to. So basically it's given me the chance to push this up even further. So before and after, it's just a tiny bit, but it makes the arms just look that little bit more proportionate, while still keeping the fact that it can transform. And now if I wanted to make it perfectly proportioned, I would probably have to take these off, unpin them, 3D print a new elbow and new arm piece here, and engineer a mechanism where it can extend and collapse still, which should be possible. It isn't too hard. You know, if you make a new version of this where this piece inside slides up and down, that's not impossible. That's very doable. It is a bit more complex than this, but just wanted to make it still transform, yet have slightly better proportions. And put the cannon arm on. It's definitely helps overall. Still has the long forearms, but they're a little bit better now, especially when you pose it up and you got the cannon on there. So just some small changes I put on these figures, and hopefully these are things that you can do at home that you know, aren't intrusive overall and do improve the overall look of these quite frankly amazing figures. But understand if you're a bit afraid to do some of these things to some expensive figures, and you know, it's especially Tyrantron is a bit harder to find nowadays, as they've only really done like 2 runs of it, hoping they'll do another. So yeah, it's simple things, shouldn't damage your figures at all. For the arms, I just put some super glue on there to replace the screw, and the worst thing that you have now is this open screw hole on the inside of the arm. But just some super glue very carefully on the inside of these 2 connecting parts, and it should just slide on. For tools, I just used some cutters, my plastic cutters, to get like, I could only fit like halfway, so I could only get half a cut, and then I used pliers because that gave me enough of amount that was sheared off that it wouldn't create a cavity if I used pliers. So I used pliers to remove it off, and then I cleaned it up with a long blade on an X-Acto knife, and that's how I got it smooth enough to slide on and off. And like I said, for the Tarn Kultur, I just used a file, and to clean it up I used the Tamiya glue, the super thin glue that slightly melted the plastic. You got to be very careful because it will slightly change the surface of the plastic, so you've got to be very careful and very selective with how you use it. If you are careful and you take your time, it will give you that little bit of oomph. And for the face, it's just paint, you know, just paint and time. And I didn't want to, you know, go in and actually gouge out parts of the face. I mean, you could if you really wanted to go that far, but it's not going to be noticeable at that scale. Yeah, hopefully this has been interesting, at least, and informative if you want to do some of these, you know, simple things. And I'll probably have some more videos like this coming up soon. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell button for notifications, like if you want to see more, dislike if you don't, comment down below. See you next time. Bye for now.